Oh God, why did Dad call me here? This casino. These people. I shouldn't have come. You foolish girl. What the hell are you doing here dressed like that? Dad, you said it was an emergency. You said you needed me. Emergency? Yeah, there's an emergency, all right. I'm in debt. $2 million. $2 million. Dad, how could you? Shut up. Just shut up. You think I wanted this? Wanted what? What are you talking about? He's talking about the transfer of property, Miss James. Property? Who are you? Dominic Cross. And as of tonight, you belong to me. What? No. No, this is insane. Your father wagered you as collateral. I won the hand. Simple as that. Dad, tell him this isn't true. Tell him. It's true, Kristen. I signed the papers. You're his now. You sold me? You actually sold your own daughter? Don't be so dramatic. It's just business. Business? I'm your child. You were my burden. At least now you're useful for something. No, no, no. This can't be happening. He really did it. He sold me like I'm nothing. Take her to the car. No. Let me go. Dad, please. Goodbye, Kristen. Try not to embarrass the family name any more than you already have. What family? What name? You destroyed everything. Music. Look at him. Dominic Cross. They say he's the most dangerous man in the city. And now I'm sitting in his car like some kind of prize he won. Where are you taking me? Somewhere you'll learn to keep quiet. I'm not going anywhere with you. You don't have a choice. I always have a choice. Not anymore. You're mine now. Property. Collateral. Do you understand what that means? I'm not anyone's property. Your father thought differently when he put you on the table. My father is a drunk and a coward. And you're the daughter of a drunk and a coward. Which makes you what, exactly? Someone who didn't ask for this. No one ever asks for their fate, Miss James. But here we are. His eyes. God, his eyes are so cold. Like he's already decided everything about me. Like I'm guilty of something I didn't even do. What is this place? It's huge. Like a fortress. Welcome to the Cross Estate. This is where you live? This is where we live. For the next 2 years. 2 years? I'm not staying here for 2 years. You are. And you'll do exactly what I tell you to do. Or what? Or your father dies. It's really that simple. You're bluffing. Am I? Would you like to test that theory? No. No, I can't. I hate him, but I can't let him die. What do you want from me? I want you to be my wife. Your wife? In name only. A contract marriage. 2 years. You play the devoted spouse, attend social functions, convince my business partners that I'm a family man. And if I refuse? Your father's body will be found in the river by morning. You're a monster. I'm a businessman. There's a difference. He hands me papers. A contract. My life in black and white. Sign here. And here. And initial here. What if I don't? Then we're done talking. My hand is shaking. I can barely hold the pen. Why are you doing this to me? Because I need a wife to close a deal with the Valentino family. They only work with married men. Traditional values. So I'm just a prop to you. You're a means to an end. Nothing more. I sign. God help me, I sign. Good. Now let me make something very clear, Miss James. I don't trust you. I don't like you. And I sure as hell don't believe you're innocent in all this. Innocent? I didn't even know. Your father is a con man. And con men raise con artists. So whatever game you're playing, whatever angle you're working, forget it. I'm not playing any game. We'll see about that. This room. He locked me in this room. You'll stay here until you learn some manners. You can't keep me prisoner. I just did. The door clicks. Locked from the outside. I hate him. I hate him so much. But I hate my father more. 3 days. 3 days locked in this room. Miss James, Mr. Cross would like you to join him for dinner. Tell Mr. Cross he can go to hell. I'll let him know you declined. 15 minutes later. You're testing my patience. Good. Maybe you'll realize I'm not the pushover you think I am. Get dressed. We have guests coming tomorrow. The Valentino family. I'm not meeting anyone. You are. Because that's what you signed up for. I signed up to be your wife in name. Not your puppet. In my world, there's no difference. He throws a dress on the bed. Red. Expensive. Not me. Wear this tomorrow night. No. Excuse me? I said no. I'm not wearing that. You'll wear what I tell you to wear. Make me. Something flashes in his eyes. Anger. But maybe something else too. Fine. No dinner. No privileges. Stay in your room. I was going to anyway. The door slams. Locked again. But this time, I'm smiling. Because for 1 second, I saw it. He's not as in control as he pretends to be. Music. Morning. The door opens. You have a visitor. Who? Your father. No. Not him. Not here. Mr. Cross. So good to see you again. Richard. What do you want? Well, I was thinking. I took such good care of Kristen all these years. Raised her right. Fed her. Clothed her. Surely that's worth something. You want more money. Just a little bonus. For all my years of service as a father. I can't believe this. He's actually asking for more. Get out of my house. Now, Mr. Cross, let's be reasonable. I said get out. Before I have my men throw you out. Kristen, talk to him. Don't talk to me. Don't ever talk to me again. You ungrateful little. Out. Now. Dad leaves. Finally. Dominic finds me on the balcony. That's the man who raised you? That's the man who destroyed me. I see. Do you? Do you see that I didn't choose this? I didn't choose him as a father. And I didn't choose you as a husband. But I'm not going to let either of you destroy me. He doesn't say anything. Just looks at me. Really looks at me. Maybe I was wrong about you. Maybe. Don't push your luck, Miss James. But something changed. I felt it. The charity gala. I'm wearing the green dress. The one I chose, not him. You look beautiful. Don't. Don't what? Don't pretend this is real. For tonight, it has to be. He offers his arm. I take it. The ballroom is full of people who could kill me with a phone call. Dominic Cross. I heard you finally found someone desperate enough to marry you. Desperate? I think you're confusing me with your last 3 mistresses. Gasps. Laughter. You will apologize to my wife. Now. I don't. Now. Or every business deal you have in this city disappears by morning. The man apologizes. Dominic's hand finds mine. Later, in the car. Why did you defend me? You're mine. No one disrespects what belongs to me. I don't belong to you. Don't you? His hand is still holding mine. Neither of us lets go. I found his library. Shelves and shelves of books. I start leaving notes in the margins. You're wrong about this character. He wasn't weak. He was human. The next day, a response. Human or not, his weakness destroyed him. A conversation in ink. One night, he finds me reading. You've been writing in my books. I'll stop if. Don't. I enjoy reading your thoughts. We talk. Really talk. My ex-wife betrayed me. Sold my secrets to a rival family. My father died because of it. I'm not her. How do I know that? Because if I were, I'd be smarter about it. He almost smiles. The Valentino family arrives. So, Dominic, tell me about your bride. We met unexpectedly. But I knew right away she was different. Different how? She doesn't fear me. She challenges me. And you, my dear? What drew you to Dominic? I saw past the reputation. I saw a man who protects what he loves. Under the table, his hand finds mine. You two remind me of my wife and me when we were young. That night, after they leave. You were convincing. So were you. He steps closer. Was I? The kiss. It starts as performance. Becomes everything. Marcus. Dominic's advisor. He approaches me in the garden. Mrs. Cross, I need to speak with you. About what? About leaving. I can help you escape. Why would you help me? Because I see what he's doing to you. Something's wrong. This feels like a trap. Let me think about it. I go straight to Dominic. Marcus just offered to help me escape. What? I think he's setting me up. We set a trap. Discover Marcus has been stealing. Planning to frame me. You tried to destroy everything I built. She made you weak. The old Dominic would have killed her by now. The old Dominic didn't have anything worth protecting. The treaty signing. Both families present. A door bursts open. Gunman. Marcus's final move. The weapon aimed at Dominic. I don't think. I just move. The bullet. Fire in my shoulder. Kristen. Kristen. I'm okay. No. No, no, no. Don't you dare leave me. He's crying. Screaming for help. I love you. Please. I love you. Don't leave me. I love you. The machines beep steadily. Dominic hasn't slept in 2 days. He's still wearing blood that isn't his. They're gone, he says quietly. Marcus. Your father. Everyone who hurt you. I close my eyes. That doesn't make it better. He nods. I know. He places 2 things on the table. A bank statement. And divorce papers. You're free, he says. No guards. No contracts. No threats. His voice breaks. I won't cage you. Not anymore. I stare at the papers. Freedom. Everything I begged for. I tear them in half. Then again. Then again. I didn't survive all of this just to walk away, I say. He looks at me like I've just shattered him. Kristen. You don't own me, I say. But you don't get to disappear from my life either. Tears slide down his face. He doesn't wipe them away. I am not a good man. I know. I will never be safe. I know. I will always be feared. I reach for his hand. Then be feared for me. 6 months later. The city still whispers his name. Dominic Cross didn't become softer. He became sharper. More controlled. More dangerous. Only now, he comes home. To me. Do you regret staying? He asks one night. I look at the man who once bought me. The man who would burn the world for me. No, I say. I chose you. He kisses my hand like a vow. The city still fears Dominic Cross. Only I sleep beside the monster. And know he's mine. The end. Welcome back, my loves. Before we continue, please tap the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and share this story with someone who needs it. Also, comment where you're watching from and what time it is. It helps the algorithm know you want more content like this. Alright, let's dive in. I wake up to silence. Not the comfortable kind, the suffocating kind that presses against your chest and reminds you that something is very, very wrong. The bed beneath me is too soft. The sheets are silk, cool against my skin. Above me, a crystal chandelier catches the morning light filtering through floor-to-ceiling windows. For one blissful second, I think I'm dreaming. Then I remember. The casino. My father's face. Dominic Cross sitting in the shadows like a king surveying his newest acquisition. You're mine now. I bolt upright, my heart hammering. The room is massive, all marble floors and cream-colored walls, with furniture that probably costs more than I made in a year at my old job. There's a door to my left. I run to it, twist the handle. Locked. Of course it's locked. I try the windows next, but they don't budge. Reinforced glass. I'm 3 stories up anyway. Even if I broke through, where would I go? I don't even know where I am. A soft knock interrupts my panic. Miss James? A woman's voice, professional and detached. Mr. Cross has requested your presence in the study. Please get dressed. I'm not going anywhere until someone tells me what's happening. The clothes are in the closet. You have 15 minutes. Footsteps retreat down the hallway. I'm alone again. I want to scream. I want to cry. Instead, I walk to the closet and find it stocked with clothes in exactly my size. Dresses, blouses, shoes, all tasteful, all expensive, all chosen by someone who's never met me but somehow knows my measurements down to the inch. It makes my skin crawl. I pull on the simplest thing I can find, a black dress that hits just below my knees, and 15 minutes later, the door unlocks from the outside. A woman in a gray suit stands there, her expression carefully neutral. This way, please. The hallway is just as opulent as the bedroom. Oil paintings line the walls. The carpet is so thick my footsteps make no sound. We pass rooms with closed doors, a grand staircase that spirals down into a marble foyer, and finally stop in front of double doors made of dark wood. The woman knocks once, then opens the door. Miss James, sir. Dominic sits behind a massive desk, his attention on a stack of papers in front of him. He doesn't look up. Doesn't acknowledge me at all. Next to him stands an older man in a 3-piece suit, silver-haired and stern, with a leather briefcase in his hand. Sit, Dominic says, still not looking at me. There's a chair across from his desk. I don't move. I said sit. And I said I'm not doing anything until someone tells me what's going on. Finally, he looks up. Those dark eyes lock onto mine, and I feel the weight of his gaze like a physical thing. He's even more intimidating in the daylight, sharp jaw, tailored suit, the kind of presence that commands a room without effort. You're going to sit, Miss James, or I'm going to have my men make you sit. Your choice. I sit. The older man steps forward, pulling documents from his briefcase. Miss James, I'm Thomas Brennan, Mr. Cross's attorney. We need to discuss the terms of your arrangement. Arrangement? I look between them. You mean my kidnapping? Dominic's expression doesn't change. Your father sold you to settle a debt. That makes this a business transaction, not a kidnapping. You can't just buy people. I didn't buy you. I won you. There's a difference. He leans back in his chair, fingers steepled beneath his chin. But semantics aside, you're here now. And you're going to make yourself useful. Thomas clears his throat, laying the contract in front of me. The terms are simple. You will become Mr. Cross's wife in name for a period of 2 years. During that time, you will attend all social functions as required, present yourself as a devoted spouse, and obey all household rules without question. I stare at the words on the page, but they blur together. Wife? You want me to marry you? I need a wife to close a business deal, Dominic says, his tone flat. The Valentino family only conducts business with married men. They believe it demonstrates stability and trustworthiness. So I'm a prop. You're a means to an end. And if I refuse? Dominic's jaw tightens. Your father dies. It's really that simple. The room spins. I grip the edge of the desk to steady myself. You're lying. You wouldn't. Wouldn't I? He stands, circling the desk until he's standing in front of me, too close. Your father owes money to some very dangerous people, Miss James. People I do business with. One word from me, and his debts become someone else's problem. Permanently. I hate the tears that burn behind my eyes. I won't cry in front of him. I won't give him that satisfaction. Thomas hands me a pen. If you'll sign here, and initial here. My hand shakes as I take it. The pen feels impossibly heavy. What makes you think I won't run the second I get the chance? Because you're not stupid, Dominic says. You know exactly what happens if you try. I look at the contract again. 2 years. 730 days. I can survive anything for that long. I have to. I sign. Dominic watches me with something like disgust in his eyes, and I realize what he's thinking. She's just like all the others. Complicit. Manipulative. In on it with her father. I didn't know, I say quietly. About any of this. I swear I didn't. Save it. He turns away, dismissing me with a wave of his hand. Thomas will show you the rest of the house. Dinner is at 8. Don't be late. That evening, I'm escorted to a dining room that could seat 20 people. Crystal chandeliers. A table long enough to play football on. And at the far end, Dominic, already seated with a glass of wine in his hand. I take the chair across from him. A servant places a plate in front of me, some kind of fish I can't identify, garnished with things I've never heard of. We eat in silence for what feels like an eternity. Finally, I can't take it anymore. You really think I planned this, don't you? That I wanted my father to sell me like livestock? Dominic sets down his fork, fixing me with that cold stare. I think con men raise con artists. I think desperate people do desperate things. And I think you're smart enough to see an opportunity when it presents itself. You don't know anything about me. I know enough. He takes a sip of wine. Let me make something very clear, Miss James. This arrangement is business. Nothing more. You will play your role convincingly, you will not embarrass me in front of my associates, and you will remember exactly what you are to me. And what's that? A means to an end. He stands, tossing his napkin onto the table. Don't mistake this for anything else. Not kindness. Not mercy. And certainly not affection. You're a transaction. That's all you'll ever be. He walks away, leaving me alone in that enormous room with half-eaten food and the echo of his words. A means to an end. I sit there until the candles burn low, until the servants clear the plates, until the silence becomes something I can almost bear. And I make myself a promise. I'll survive this. I'll survive him. And when my 2 years are up, I'll walk away from Dominic Cross and never look back. 3 days in Dominic's mansion and I still feel like a prisoner. Because that's exactly what I am. This morning, a woman in gray delivers breakfast to my room along with a message. Mr. Cross requests your presence at tonight's business meeting. 8 o'clock. Formal attire. Requests. As if I have a choice. By 7:30, I'm dressed in a navy gown that was somehow already hanging in my closet, like everything about my life has been predetermined. When I step into the hallway, 2 men in dark suits materialize from nowhere. Mrs. Cross, one of them says, and the title makes my stomach turn. This way. They lead me through corridors I haven't seen before, down a staircase that opens into a wing of the house that feels different. Darker. More dangerous. The art on these walls isn't beautiful, it's intimidating. Old family crests, weapons mounted behind glass, photographs of men who look like they've never smiled a day in their lives. We stop at a set of double doors. Inside, I hear voices. Men's voices, low and serious. The guards open the doors and I step into a room that looks like something out of a crime movie. A long table dominates the space, surrounded by men in expensive suits. At the head of the table sits Dominic, and when he sees me, his expression doesn't change. "Gentlemen," he says, his voice cutting through the conversation like a blade. "My wife." Every head turns. Every pair of eyes assesses me like I'm a new piece on a chessboard they're trying to understand. There's an empty chair to Dominic's right. I walk to it, feeling the weight of their stares, and sit. As I was saying, Dominic continues, not acknowledging me further, the shipment arrives Thursday. "Vincent, you'll oversee the transfer personally." A man with a scar running down his cheek nods. "And if there's resistance?" "Handle it." Dominic's tone is ice. "I don't care how. Just make sure the goods reach the warehouse intact." I sit perfectly still, trying to process what I'm hearing. Shipments. Transfers. The casual way they discuss violence like it's a line item on a budget report. A man across the table leans forward, his eyes fixed on me. He's younger than the others, maybe early 40s, with slicked-back dark hair and a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. "Forgive me, boss, but shouldn't we be more careful about who hears our business?" Dominic's gaze shifts to him, cold and warning. "Are you questioning my judgment, Marcus?" "Not at all." The man, Marcus, spreads his hands in a gesture of innocence. "Just looking out for the family's interests. My wife is family now. She hears what I allow her to hear." Marcus's smile widens. "Of course. Welcome to the family, Mrs. Cross." There's something in the way he looks at me that makes my skin crawl. Like he's studying me. Calculating. The meeting continues for another hour, discussions about territories, payments, people who need to be reminded of their obligations. I understand maybe half of it, but what I do understand terrifies me. This isn't just business. This is an empire built on fear and violence, and Dominic sits at the center of it like a king who's never questioned his right to rule. When the meeting finally ends, the men file out one by one. Marcus is the last to leave, pausing at the door to give me one more unsettling look before disappearing. I'm gathering the courage to escape back to my room when a voice stops me. "You must be Kristen." I turn to find a young woman standing in the doorway. She's beautiful, mid-20s, with long dark hair and eyes that are a warmer version of Dominic's. She's smiling, and it's the first genuine smile I've seen since I arrived. "I'm Elena. Dominic's sister." "Sister?" I glance at Dominic, who's still at the table, reviewing papers. "He never mentioned you." "He doesn't mention a lot of things." She walks closer, her voice dropping. "Can we talk? Somewhere private?" I look at Dominic again. He waves a dismissive hand without looking up. Elena leads me to a library down the hall, closing the door behind us. The room is lined with books from floor to ceiling, a fire crackling in the hearth. "I wanted to meet you," she says, settling into one of the leather chairs. "The woman brave enough, or crazy enough, to marry my brother. I didn't exactly have a choice." "I know. I heard about your father." Her expression softens with sympathy. "I'm sorry. That must have been horrible. It's the first time anyone in this house has acknowledged what happened to me. The first time anyone has treated me like a person instead of a problem." "Why are you being nice to me?" I ask, suspicious despite myself. "Because someone should be." Elena tucks her legs beneath her. "And because I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of my brother's cold shoulder. He hates me. He thinks I'm a con artist like my father." "He doesn't hate you." She pauses. "He's afraid of you." "Afraid? Of me?" "Dominic wasn't always like this," Elena says quietly. "Cold. Ruthless. There was a time when he actually smiled. Laughed. Loved. What happened? Someone he trusted betrayed him. Sold his secrets to a rival family. Our father died because of it." Her eyes meet mine. "The woman he loved destroyed him, Kristen. And when he looks at you, I think he sees her. That's why he's built these walls so high. He's terrified of letting anyone close enough to hurt him again." Before I can respond, the door opens. Dominic stands there, his expression darker than I've ever seen it. "Elena." Leave. His sister stands, squeezing my hand as she passes. Be patient with him, she whispers. There's a good man underneath all that ice. Then she's gone, and I'm alone with Dominic. What did she tell you? Nothing that wasn't obvious. I cross my arms. You're broken. You don't trust anyone. And you're taking it out on me. His jaw tightens. Get dressed for dinner. There's a gown on your bed. I'm not hungry. I don't care. We have appearances to maintain. I'm not wearing whatever you picked out. He takes a step closer, and I instinctively back up. You'll wear what I tell you to wear. No. I won't. Excuse me? Something inside me snaps. 3 days of being ordered around, locked up, treated like property. I said no. I'm not your doll, Dominic. I signed your contract, I'll play your wife in public, but in here? I don't have to do a damn thing you say. For a moment, something flashes in his eyes. Surprise? Respect? Then it's gone, replaced by cold fury. You want to test me, Miss James? Fine. He walks to the door, pulling it open. Gregory. One of the guards appears. Escort Mrs. Cross to her room. She's not to leave until I say otherwise. You can't. I can. And I will. The guard takes my arm, not roughly, but firmly enough that I know resistance is pointless. Dominic leans against the doorframe, watching me being led away. When you're ready to behave like an adult, we'll talk. Until then, enjoy your room. The door to my bedroom closes. The lock clicks. I'm alone again, but this time, something's different. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm angry. And anger, I'm learning, is so much more useful than fear. I've been locked in my room for 2 days when the shouting starts. At first, I think it's another one of Dominic's meetings, raised voices, tension crackling through the walls. But then I hear a voice that makes my blood run cold. My father. I press my ear to the door, straining to hear. Mr. Cross. Surely we can come to some arrangement. That wheedling tone I know so well. The one he uses when he's trying to talk his way out of consequences. I've been very reasonable about all this. Reasonable? Dominic's voice is sharp enough to cut glass. You sold your daughter to settle a gambling debt. What part of that is reasonable? Well, when you put it like that. How else should I put it? A pause. Then my father's voice again, different now. Calculating. Look, I took care of Kristen for 24 years. Fed her. Clothed her. Put a roof over her head. That's got to be worth something, don't you think? My stomach turns. He's here for money. Of course he is. You want me to pay you, Dominic says slowly, for being a father. Just a little something extra. Call it a finder's fee. After all, you got yourself a beautiful wife out of the deal. And I could have gone to anyone with that debt, but I came to you. Because you knew anyone else would have killed you. Details, details. I can hear the smile in my father's voice, and it makes me want to scream. The point is, we're practically family now. And family helps family. The lock on my door clicks. A guard appears. Mr. Cross requests your presence downstairs. No. No, I don't want to see him. I can't. But the guard is already waiting, and I know I don't have a choice. My father is standing in the foyer when I reach the bottom of the stairs, looking exactly as I remember, rumpled suit, bloodshot eyes, that perpetual scent of whiskey and desperation. When he sees me, his face breaks into a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. Kristen. Look at you. Living in the lap of luxury. I knew you'd land on your feet. I stop on the last step, unable to make myself go any closer. Dominic stands near the door, arms crossed, watching us with an expression I can't read. Hi, Dad. Is that any way to greet your old man? He spreads his arms like he expects a hug. Come here, sweetheart. I'm fine where I am. His smile falters. Don't be like that. I'm here to see how you're doing. Make sure Mr. Cross is treating you right. You're here for money. The mask drops. Just for a second, but I see it, the flash of anger, the cold calculation. Then it's back, that false warmth. Now, Kristen, that's unfair. Can't a father visit his daughter? You stopped being my father the night you sold me. Sold you? I saved you. You have any idea what the people I owed would have done to me? To us? To you, I correct. They would have done it to you. I had nothing to do with your debts. Everything I did for this family. What family? My voice rises despite my attempts to control it. Mom's been dead for 10 years. You drank away her life insurance, gambled away the house, and then you sold me like I was another poker chip. So don't you dare stand there and talk to me about family. His face reddens. You ungrateful little bitch. I gave you everything. You gave me nothing. The words tear out of me, years of buried rage finally finding their voice. You know what you gave me, Dad? Anxiety. Debt collectors calling at 3 a.m. The humiliation of having my electricity shut off because you spent the bill money at the casino. You gave me a childhood spent wondering if we'd have food that week or if you'd lost the grocery money on a bad hand. I had a problem. You had a choice. Every single time. And you chose the cards. You chose the bottle. You chose yourself. I take a shaky breath. And then, when you finally ran out of things to gamble with, you chose to gamble me. The silence that follows is deafening. My father's face is purple now, veins standing out on his neck. You think you're better than me? Living here in this mansion, wearing expensive clothes, playing house with a criminal? I think I'm done letting you destroy my life. He lunges forward, and I flinch, an automatic response to 1,000 small moments of his anger, but he doesn't get far. Dominic moves like a shadow, stepping between us with a hand raised. That's enough. His voice is quiet, but there's something deadly underneath. You need to leave. Now. We're not finished. Yes. You are. Dominic nods to the guards by the door. Escort Mr. James off the property. If he returns, call the police. You can't do this. Kristen, tell him. Goodbye, Dad. The guards take his arms, and he's still shouting as they drag him out. Threats, insults, promises to come back with lawyers. The usual. But I don't hear the words anymore. Just noise. Background static to a life I'm finally putting behind me. The door slams. Silence. I can feel Dominic watching me, but I can't look at him. Can't let him see the tears burning behind my eyes, the way my hands are shaking. Excuse me, I manage, and somehow my legs carry me up the stairs, down the hall, through another door I've never noticed before. I find myself on a balcony overlooking the estate grounds. The sun is setting, painting everything gold and red. It's beautiful. I hate that it's beautiful. I don't know how long I stand there before I hear footsteps behind me. You believed him. I don't turn around. You thought I was in on it. That we planned this together. Dominic doesn't answer right away. When he speaks, his voice is different. Softer. I've been burned before. I'm not her. I know. He steps closer, and I can feel him beside me now, looking out at the same sunset. I saw the way you looked at him. The way you flinched when he moved. A pause. That wasn't the reaction of an accomplice. No. It was the reaction of a daughter who spent her whole life being a disappointment. The wind picks up, cold against my face. I wrap my arms around myself. I didn't choose this, I say quietly. I didn't choose him as a father. I didn't choose you as a husband. I didn't choose any of it. I finally look at Dominic, meeting those dark eyes that have shown me nothing but contempt until now. But I'm not going to let either of you destroy me. I've survived him for 24 years. I can survive you for 2. Something shifts in his expression. Not quite softening, but changing. Like a door that's been locked for years suddenly discovering it still has hinges. He doesn't apologize. Doesn't promise to be better. Doesn't say anything at all. But he doesn't leave either. We stand there in silence as the sun disappears and the first stars come out, 2 broken people who don't trust each other, bound together by a contract and a mutual understanding of what it means to be betrayed by someone you should have been able to trust. It's not forgiveness. It's not even a truce. But it's something. And right now, something is enough. The dress arrives 3 days before the gala. It's delivered to my room in a garment bag with a note in Dominic's sharp handwriting. Saturday. 7 p.m. Don't embarrass me. I unzip the bag and stop breathing. It's emerald green silk, floor length, with a neckline that's daring without being obscene. The kind of dress that costs more than most people make in a month. The kind of dress that makes a statement. For once, I don't want to fight him on it. Saturday comes too quickly. A team arrives at noon, hair, makeup, nails. They transform me into someone I barely recognize. Someone polished. Someone who belongs in Dominic's world, even if it's all pretend. At 7 exactly, there's a knock on my door. Dominic stands in the hallway wearing a black tuxedo that looks like it was made specifically for him. Probably was. His eyes travel over me, and for a moment, just a moment, something flickers across his face. You clean up well, he says. So do you. He offers his arm. Ready to play the devoted wife? I take it, feeling the warmth of him through the fabric. As ready as I'll ever be. The car is waiting outside, a sleek black vehicle with a driver who doesn't make eye contact. Dominic helps me in, and we ride in silence through the city streets, watching the lights blur past. The Castellanos will be there tonight, he says finally. Victor Castellano is trying to move into my territory. He'll use any opportunity to make me look weak. And I'm supposed to make you look strong. You're supposed to make me look stable. Settled. A man with a family has different priorities than a man with nothing to lose. So I'm your armor. He looks at me then, really looks at me. Something like that. The gala is held at the Metropolitan Museum, and it's even more opulent than I imagined. Crystal chandeliers, marble floors, women dripping in diamonds and men who look like they could buy small countries. Everyone here is someone: old money, new money, political power, criminal empires disguised behind charitable foundations. Dominic's hand finds the small of my back as we enter, a possessive gesture that I'm learning is more for show than feeling. We're immediately swarmed by people wanting a moment of his time, and I watch him transform into someone else. Charming. Affable. The kind of man who makes million-dollar deals feel like friendly conversations. And this must be the famous Mrs. Cross, a woman in red says, looking me up and down with barely concealed judgment. How lovely to finally meet you. The pleasure is mine, I reply, matching her smile with one of my own. Tell me, dear, how did you two meet? Dominic's been so secretive about his personal life. I feel Dominic's hand tighten slightly on my back. A warning or a test, I'm not sure which. It was unexpected, I say smoothly. I wasn't looking for anyone, and neither was he. But sometimes the best things in life are the ones we don't plan for. The woman's smile wavers. Dominic's hand relaxes. We circulate through the crowd, and I play my role perfectly. Laugh at the right moments. Ask interested questions about people's children, their businesses, their latest yacht purchases. Remember names, make connections, be charming but not too charming, attentive but not desperate. I'm good at this, I realize. Better than I expected. You're a natural, Dominic murmurs during a brief moment alone. There's something in his voice that might be approval. I've had practice pretending to be someone I'm not. Before he can respond, a man approaches us. Tall, silver-haired, with a smile that doesn't reach his cold blue eyes. Dominic Cross. Still playing at being respectable, I see. Dominic's entire demeanor changes. Colder. Harder. Victor. I didn't realize they were letting just anyone in tonight. Oh, you know how it is. Write a big enough check, and they'll overlook almost anything. Victor's gaze slides to me. And this must be the new wife. Though I have to say, Dominic, I'm surprised you found someone willing to tie themselves to your particular brand of business. Careful, Victor. I'm just saying, she doesn't look like the type who understands what she's gotten herself into. Does she know about the bodies? The bribes? The blood money paying for that pretty dress she's wearing? The people around us have gone quiet, sensing confrontation. I feel Dominic tense beside me, but I speak before he can. I know exactly what I've gotten into, Mr. Castellano. The question is, do you know what you've gotten into by insulting me? Victor laughs, but it's forced. Spirit. I like that. Tell me, sweetheart, what's a girl like you really doing with a man like? Her name is Mrs. Cross, Dominic cuts in, his voice dropping to something dangerous. And you're done talking to her? Oh, come now, Dominic. I'm just making conversation. No. You're testing boundaries. And you're about to find out what happens when you cross them. Dominic takes a step forward, and despite Victor being taller, he somehow seems smaller. You want to question my business? Fine. You want to make veiled threats? I expect nothing less. But you will not disrespect my wife. Not here. Not anywhere. The room has gone completely silent now. I see you've gotten sensitive in your old age, Victor says, but his smile is strained. No. I've gotten territorial. There's a difference. Dominic's voice carries across the room. Everyone here should understand something. This woman is under my protection. Anyone who insults her, threatens her, or even looks at her the wrong way answers to me. And we all know how I handle disrespect. The threat hangs in the air like smoke. Victor's face reddens, but he knows he's lost. My apologies, Mrs. Cross. I meant no offense. Of course you didn't, I say sweetly. And I'm sure you won't make the same mistake again. He retreats into the crowd, and gradually conversation resumes. But everyone keeps glancing at us, whispering, recalculating. Dominic's hand is still on my back, but now I can feel the tension in it. The barely controlled fury. We're leaving, he says quietly. The ride back is silent until we're halfway to the estate. Then I can't hold it in anymore. Why did you do that? Do what? Defend me. You could have just let it go. Let him think whatever he wanted. Dominic stares out the window, jaw tight. You're mine. No one disrespects what belongs to me. I'm not a possession. Aren't you? He finally looks at me. You signed a contract. You wear my ring. You live in my house. For the next 2 years, you are exactly that. Then why do you care what people say about me? Because it reflects on me. That's all? He doesn't answer. But his hand, which has been resting on the seat between us, moves. Slowly. Almost unconsciously. Until his fingers brush against mine. Neither of us pulls away. We don't hold hands. We don't intertwine fingers. Just this small point of contact, his skin against mine, warm and real and terrifying in its intimacy. The car pulls up to the estate. The driver opens my door. Dominic's hand slides away from mine, and the loss of it feels bigger than it should. You did well tonight, he says as I step out. So did you. For a moment, we just look at each other in the dim light of the driveway. Two people playing roles that are starting to feel less like pretend and more like something dangerous. Something real. Then he turns away, walking into the house without looking back, and I'm left standing there with the ghost of his touch still burning on my skin. Something is changing between us. And I don't know if that terrifies me or thrills me more. I find the library by accident, 3 days after the gala. I'm wandering the mansion, one of the few freedoms I've been granted, when I push open a door I've never tried before and stop dead. Floor-to-ceiling shelves packed with books. Leather-bound first editions, modern hardcovers, paperbacks with cracked spines that have been read 1,000 times. A fireplace. 2 worn leather chairs that look like they've held the weight of years of reading. The smell of old paper and wood smoke. It's the first room in this entire mansion that feels like it belongs to a person instead of a museum. I step inside, running my fingers along the spines. Classic literature. Philosophy. History. Poetry, even. These aren't decorator books bought by the shelf to look impressive. These have been read, loved, lived in. I pull out a copy of The Great Gatsby, and it falls open to a page that's been marked with a piece of paper. In the margin, there's a note in sharp, precise handwriting: Gatsby's fatal flaw, believing love could conquer the past. Dominic's handwriting. I find a pen on the desk and, before I can think better of it, I write underneath. Or maybe his fatal flaw was loving someone who wasn't brave enough to love him back. Over the next few days, the library becomes my refuge. I read his books, find his notes, leave my own. A conversation in ink with someone who won't talk to me in person. In a copy of Jane Eyre, Rochester was a manipulator who lied to get what he wanted. Me, Rochester was a broken man who found someone who saw past his darkness. In Crime and Punishment, Raskolnikov's confession was weakness. Me, Raskolnikov's confession was the only thing that made him human. In The Count of Monte Cristo, revenge is the only form of justice that matters. Me, revenge is just pain wearing a different mask. I don't know if he's reading my responses. I don't know if he cares. Until one evening, I find a new note in a book I'd written in the day before. You're wrong about mercy. Mercy is for people who've never been betrayed. My heart pounds as I write back. Mercy is for people strong enough to break the cycle. I'm curled up in one of the leather chairs a week later, reading Wuthering Heights by firelight, when I hear footsteps. Dominic stops in the doorway, and for a moment we just stare at each other. He's in casual clothes, dark slacks, a white shirt with the sleeves rolled up. No armor. No mask. I didn't know you came here, I say. Every night. He walks to the shelves, pulling out a book seemingly at random. This was my father's library. He believed books were the only honest thing in the world. What do you believe? He considers the question, turning the book over in his hands. I believe words are weapons. You just have to know how to use them. Is that why you've been reading my notes? His eyes meet mine. You've been reading mine. They're interesting. You see everything through such a cynical lens. And you see everything through a naive one. Optimistic. Not naive. Same thing. No. It's not. I close my book. Naive means ignorant. Optimistic means choosing hope even when you know better. He's quiet for a long moment, then moves to the other chair, sitting across from me with the fire between us. You wrote that mercy is for people strong enough to break the cycle, he says. Where was mercy when your father was destroying your life? I didn't say mercy was easy. I said it was strong. Mercy is weak. Forgiveness is weak. The moment you show compassion to someone who's hurt you, you give them permission to do it again. Or you free yourself from carrying their poison. He leans forward, elbows on his knees. You really believe that? After everything he did to you? I believe that holding on to hate is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. That's a nice philosophy. It won't keep you alive in my world. Then maybe your world needs to change. Something flashes across his face, anger, maybe, or something more complicated. You don't understand what it's like. To trust someone completely and have them destroy you. To watch someone you love sell your secrets for money while your father bleeds out on a warehouse floor. The words hang in the air between us. Is that what happened? I ask softly. Your ex-wife? He looks away, staring into the fire. For a moment I think he won't answer. Her name was Isabel. We met when I was 25, right after I took over from my father. She was beautiful. Smart. Made me feel like maybe I could be more than just the heir to a criminal empire. His jaw tightens. I told her everything. About the business, the deals, the weaknesses in our organization. I thought we were building a life together. What happened? The Moretti family made her a better offer. $3 million for information about our operations, our suppliers, our security protocols. He's still staring at the fire, but I can see the pain in his profile. She took it. Walked away with the money while the Morettis used what she gave them to plan an ambush. Your father. He was meeting with a supplier. Routine deal, should have been safe. But the Morettis knew exactly when and where because Isabel told them. His voice is hollow. My father and 3 of our men died that night. By the time we figured out it was her, she'd disappeared. New name, new life, probably living on a beach somewhere. The logs shift in the fireplace, sending up sparks. I'm sorry, I say. That's unforgivable. And yet you lecture me about mercy. I didn't say you had to forgive her. I said you shouldn't let her destroy the rest of your life. He finally looks at me. She didn't destroy my life. She taught me the only lesson that matters: trust no one. Is that why you hate me? Because I remind you of her? I don't hate you. You did. That first day. I was cautious. There's a difference. You looked at me like I was guilty of crimes I didn't commit. He runs a hand through his hair, a gesture so human it catches me off guard. When your father sold you to me, all I could think was that it was another setup. Another con. Another beautiful woman with a sob story designed to get close to me. And now? Now I think you're the most frustrating person I've ever met. But there's no venom in it. You argue with everything I say. You leave notes in my books that make me question beliefs I've held for years. You refuse to be intimidated or controlled or broken. Is that a compliment? It's an observation. What else do you observe? He studies me across the firelight, and I feel the weight of his gaze like a physical thing. I observe that you're nothing like her. That you could have taken the easy path 100 times since you got here, but you keep fighting. That you have every reason to be bitter and cruel, but you still believe in things like mercy and hope. He pauses. I observe that I was wrong about you. My breath catches. Dominic. I should go. He stands abruptly. It's late. Wait. I stand too. Thank you. For telling me about Isabel. About your father. He stops at the door, his back to me. Don't thank me. And don't mistake honesty for trust, Kristen. I told you what happened because you should understand why I am the way I am. Not because I'm letting you in. I know. He leaves without another word, but the book he was holding is still on his chair. I pick it up. Anna Karenina. Inside the front cover, there's an inscription, "To my son. May you always know the difference between love and obsession. Dad." And underneath, in Dominic's handwriting, written years ago, "Too late." I closed the book carefully and set it back on the shelf, my heart aching for the man he was before betrayal turned him into the man he is now. But tonight, in this library, I saw something. A crack in the ice. And cracks, I know, are where the light gets in. The morning the Valentinos arrive, Dominic comes to my room himself. They'll be here in 3 hours, he says without preamble. Don Valentino is old school. Traditional. He believes a man with a stable marriage is a man who can be trusted in business. And we need to convince him we're stable. We need to convince him we're in love. The words sound foreign in his mouth. His wife, Lucia, will ask you questions. Personal questions. She'll be looking for any sign that this is fake. So what's our story? How did we meet? How long have we been together? He sits on the edge of my bed, and the intimacy of the gesture, him in my space, my sanctuary, isn't lost on me. We met at a charity event 8 months ago. I pursued you for weeks before you agreed to dinner. We were engaged after 3 months. Fast. When you know, you know. He looks at me. That's what you'll tell her. That I was persistent. Charming. That beneath the reputation, you saw something real. And what will you say about me? That you challenged me. That you weren't impressed by money or power. That you made me want to be better. The words sound rehearsed, but there's something underneath them that makes my chest tighten. Dominic. It's just a performance, Kristen. Don't read into it. But when he leaves, I can't shake the feeling that maybe, just maybe, some of it isn't performance anymore. Don Valentino is exactly what I expected, silver-haired, impeccably dressed, with eyes that miss nothing. His wife, Lucia, is elegant and warm, with the kind of smile that makes you want to confess all your secrets. They're dangerous in completely different ways. Dinner is served in the formal dining room, 7 courses, each more elaborate than the last. I sit beside Dominic, hyper-aware of his presence, the way his hand occasionally brushes mine as we reach for our glasses. So, Kristen, Lucia says as the second course arrives, Dominic tells us you met at a charity event. How romantic. What was it that first caught your eye? I take a sip of wine, buying time. Dominic's hand finds my knee under the table, a warning or encouragement, I'm not sure which. Honestly? I thought he was arrogant. Don Valentino laughs, a deep rumble. Most people do. But then I watched him at the silent auction. I continue, the story building as I speak. There was a little girl there, maybe 7 years old, and she'd been bidding on this painting with her allowance money. Some man swooped in at the last second and bid 10 times what she had. She was devastated. I glance at Dominic, and he's watching me with an expression I can't read. Dominic outbid the man. Won the painting. Then he walked over to that little girl and told her he'd bought it by mistake, that he actually hated art, and would she do him a favor and take it off his hands? For the exact amount of money she'd originally bid. Lucia's hand goes to her heart. Did that really happen? I look at Dominic, giving him the chance to correct the story, to call me out for lying. Instead, he smiles, a real smile, not the calculated ones I've seen him use in public. I did tell her I hated art. Though I think she knew I was lying. That's when I knew, I say softly. That beneath everything people said about him, there was kindness. Hidden, maybe. Protected. But real. Under the table, Dominic's hand finds mine. His fingers intertwine with mine, his thumb tracing slow circles on my palm. It should feel like acting. It doesn't. And you, Dominic? Don Valentino asks. When did you know Kristen was the one? Dominic doesn't hesitate. The moment she argued with me. He looks at me, and there's something in his eyes that makes my breath catch. Every woman I'd ever met either wanted something from me or was afraid of me. Kristen was neither. She looked me in the eye and told me I was wrong. And she was right. About what? Lucia asks. About everything that matters. The words hang in the air between us, and I can't tell if we're still pretending. The rest of dinner passes in a blur of conversation. Don Valentino discusses business with Dominic while Lucia asks me about wedding plans, family, dreams for the future. I answer as honestly as I can, letting her see just enough truth to make the lies convincing. By the time dessert arrives, I can see the approval in their eyes. You have something special, Lucia tells me as they're leaving. I can see it in the way you look at each other. Hold on to that. After they leave, the house feels too quiet. Dominic and I stand in the foyer, the performance over, but neither of us moves. You did well, he says finally. So did you. That story about the little girl. Was that real? Or did you make it up? Does it matter? Yes. He studies me for a long moment. It was real. How did you know? Because it's exactly the kind of thing someone who's afraid of seeming weak would do. Hide kindness behind a convenient lie. I take a step closer. You're not as cold as you pretend to be, Dominic. And you're not as naive as I thought you were. I told you. Optimistic. Not naive. What's the difference again? Optimistic means I still believe in happy endings, even when I know better. And do you? Believe in happy endings? I'm starting to. Something shifts in the air between us. The space that's always felt like a battlefield suddenly feels like something else entirely. We should celebrate, he says quietly. We pulled it off. The Valentinos believed us. How do you want to celebrate? He reaches out, his hand cupping my cheek, thumb brushing across my skin. I'm going to do something incredibly stupid. What's that? This. He kisses me. It starts soft, tentative, almost questioning. His lips against mine, testing boundaries, asking permission. And I grant it, rising on my toes, my hands finding his chest, feeling the rapid beat of his heart beneath my palms. Then something breaks. The kiss deepens, becomes desperate, becomes real. His hands slide into my hair, tilting my head back, and I press closer, needing more, needing all of him. It's nothing like the careful performances we've given for others. This is raw and honest and terrifying. This is everything we've been pretending isn't happening. When we finally break apart, we're both breathing hard. His forehead rests against mine, and I can feel the tension in him, the war between what he wants and what he's allowed himself to want. That was, I start. A mistake, he finishes, but he doesn't let go of me. Was it? It has to be. But his thumb traces my lower lip, and his eyes are dark with something that isn't regret. You're not supposed to be real, Kristen. This isn't supposed to be real. Then why does it feel like it is? He doesn't answer. Instead, he kisses me again, slower this time, like he's memorizing the taste of me, the feel of me. Like he's saying goodbye and hello in the same breath. When he finally pulls away, he takes a step back, putting distance between us. Go to bed, Kristen. Dominic. Please. Just go. I want to argue. Want to demand answers, want to pull him back, want to make him admit that whatever this is between us isn't just performance anymore. But I can see the fear in his eyes, the same fear that's been there since the day we met. The fear of trusting someone who could destroy him. So I go. But as I climb the stairs, I touch my lips, still feeling the ghost of his kiss. And I know that everything has changed. We crossed a line tonight. And I don't think either of us knows how to go back. 3 days after the kiss, Dominic is avoiding me. He takes his meals in his office, leaves the house before I wake up, comes back after I've gone to bed. The library stays empty except for me and the ghosts of our conversations written in the margins of books. I tell myself it's better this way. That the distance is necessary. That what happened was a mistake born from pretending too well. I'm lying to myself, and I know it. I'm in the garden when Marcus finds me. I haven't seen much of him since that first meeting, which suited me fine. There's something about him that's always felt off, like a smile that doesn't quite reach the eyes. Mrs. Cross. He appears on the path behind me, and I jump. Forgive me. I didn't mean to startle you. Marcus. I didn't hear you coming. I've been told I have quiet feet. He sits on the bench beside me without being invited. Too close. You look troubled. Trouble in paradise? Everything's fine. Is it? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like Dominic's been avoiding you. And you've been spending a lot of time alone. Warning bells go off in my head. Why are you watching me? I watch everything. It's my job. He leans back, casual, but his eyes are calculating. I'm Dominic's right hand. I protect his interests. Which means I need to know when something's wrong. Nothing's wrong. Kristen, may I call you Kristen? He doesn't wait for an answer. I've known Dominic for 15 years. I was there when Isabel destroyed him. I watched him build these walls, turn himself into something cold and untouchable. And now here you are, just like her. I'm nothing like her. That's what she said too. He pulls something from his pocket, a business card. But just in case you realize what kind of cage you're living in, I want you to have this. I take the card. It's blank except for a phone number. What is this? A way out. Call that number, and I'll help you disappear. New identity, money to start over, protection from Dominic if he tries to find you. Why would you help me? Because unlike my boss, I still believe some people deserve a second chance. You didn't ask for this life. You were sold into it like property. His voice is sympathetic, concerned. You deserve better than being Dominic Cross's prisoner. Everything about this feels wrong. The timing. The offer. The way he's looking at me like I'm a problem he needs to solve. That's very kind of you, I say carefully. But I'm fine. Really? Are you? Or are you just too afraid to admit you want out? He stands. Think about it. That number will work whenever you're ready. Day or night. Just call, and I'll come get you. He walks away, leaving me alone with the card and a sick feeling in my stomach. I wait until dark. Until I'm sure Marcus is gone. Then I go to Dominic's office and knock. Come in. He's at his desk, surrounded by papers, looking exhausted. When he sees me, something flashes across his face, surprise, maybe, or something else. Kristen. What? Marcus approached me today. I closed the door behind me. He offered to help me escape. Dominic goes very still. What did you tell him? Nothing. I said I'd think about it. But Dominic, something's wrong. The way he talked, the timing, it felt like a trap. Did he say anything else? He compared me to Isabel. Said he was there when she destroyed you. That I'm just like her. Dominic's jaw tightens. Tell me everything. Every word. I repeat the conversation as exactly as I can remember it. When I'm done, Dominic stands and walks to the window, hands clenched behind his back. You were right to come to me. What's going on? He's quiet for a long moment. Then, Marcus has been with me since the beginning. He was my father's advisor before he was mine. I've trusted him with everything, the business, security, my life. He turns to look at me. But lately, things haven't added up. Money disappearing from accounts. Deals going wrong at the last minute. Information leaking to our competitors. You think he's stealing from you? I think he's been stealing from me for years. And I think he's looking for a way to cover his tracks. Understanding hits me like ice water. By framing me. You're the perfect scapegoat. New wife. Desperate for money. Access to the house, to me, to everything. If money goes missing, who's the obvious suspect? And then what? He kills me and makes it look like I ran away with the money? Dominic's silence is answer enough. What do we do? We? He looks at me with something like surprise. You think I'm going to sit this out? He tried to use me. I want to help take him down. For the first time in days, Dominic almost smiles. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We spend the next 2 days building the trap. I call Marcus's number and tell him I'm ready to leave. He's eager, almost too eager, telling me to meet him at midnight in the South Garden with whatever valuables I can carry. Don't worry about money, he says. I've been setting aside funds for situations like this. $500,000 should be enough to disappear. $500,000. Stolen money. My evidence. The night of the meeting, Dominic's men are hidden in the shadows. I'm wearing a wire. My hands won't stop shaking. Marcus arrives exactly at midnight, carrying a briefcase. You made the right choice, he says, all false warmth. Dominic would have destroyed you eventually. Just like he destroys everything. Where's the money? He opens the briefcase. Stacks of cash, neatly bundled. $500,000, as promised. Untraceable bills. And the new identity? In the car. Passport, driver's license, credit cards. You'll be Sophie Martinez by morning. He closes the briefcase. But first, we need to make sure Dominic can't track you. Give me your phone. I hand it over. He smashes it under his heel. Good. Now, one more thing. He pulls out a document. Sign this. It's a statement saying you embezzled money from Dominic's accounts. Insurance, in case he comes looking. I thought you said this was untraceable. It is. But Dominic Cross doesn't give up easily. If he finds you, this document protects me. Shows I was trying to stop you, not help you. And if I don't sign? His smile vanishes. Then this doesn't work for either of us. Sign, Kristen. No. The gun appears in his hand so fast I barely see it move. I said sign. Put the gun down, Marcus. Dominic steps out of the shadows, his own weapon trained on Marcus. Behind him, 6 men emerge from hiding, all armed. Marcus's face goes white. "Boss, I can explain." "Explain what?" "That you've been stealing from me for 3 years? That you plan to frame my wife and kill her? That you're the one who's been feeding information to the Castellanos? I don't know what she told you, but I heard everything." "The wire, Marcus. You're not as smart as you think you are. It was supposed to be simple." Marcus's voice is desperate now. "Take a little here, a little there. No one would notice. But then you married her, and she started asking questions, being where she shouldn't be. So you decided to kill her. I didn't have a choice. She was going to ruin everything." Dominic's fury is terrifying to witness. His voice drops to something deadly quiet. "You put your hands on my wife. You threatened her. You were going to take her from me. She's just a girl you bought. She doesn't mean anything. She means everything." The words hang in the air. Dominic doesn't look at me, but I feel them like a physical touch. "Take him," Dominic says to his men. "And make sure everyone knows what happens to people who betray me." Marcus is dragged away, still protesting, still making excuses. When they're gone, it's just Dominic and me in the garden. "Thank you," I say quietly. "For believing me. For protecting me. You came to me. You trusted me with the truth when you could have just run." He finally meets my eyes. "Why?" "Because running means letting him win. And because I hesitate. Because maybe I don't want to leave anymore." Something shifts in his expression. "Kristen. You said I mean everything. Did you mean that? Or was it just for show?" He crosses the distance between us, his hand cupping my face. "I meant it. God help me, I meant every word." Then he's kissing me again, and this time there's no pretense, no performance. Just truth. Raw and terrifying and real. The meeting with the Valentinos is supposed to be a formality. The merger is nearly complete, contracts ready to sign, territories divided. Just one final dinner to seal the alliance. I wear the emerald dress again, the one from our first gala, the one Dominic said made me look like I belonged in his world. When I come downstairs, he's waiting in the foyer, and the way he looks at me makes my breath catch. "Ready?" he asks, offering his arm. "As I'll ever be." In the car, his hand finds mine. No pretense this time. Just him and me and the truth we've finally stopped running from. "After tonight," he says quietly, "things are going to change. The Valentinos will be our allies. The business will be more stable. You'll be safer. And us?" He brings my hand to his lips. "Us too. No more contracts. No more pretending. Just us." "I'd like that." The meeting is held at Neutral Ground, an upscale restaurant that Dominic owns, closed to the public for the evening. Don Valentino and Lucia are already there when we arrive, along with 3 of their men. Dominic has Vincent and 2 others with him. The atmosphere is celebratory. Wine flows freely. Don Valentino makes a toast to new beginnings and old friendships. I'm starting to relax, starting to believe that maybe, finally, things are going to be okay. That's when the door explodes inward. The gunman is wearing a mask, but I recognize the build, the way he moves. One of Marcus's men. The gun in his hand is already raised, already aimed. At Dominic. Time does something strange. Stretches like taffy, every second becoming an eternity. I see the gunman's finger tightening on the trigger. See Dominic starting to turn, too slow, always too slow. See Vincent reaching for his weapon but knowing he won't be fast enough. I don't think. I just move. I throw myself in front of Dominic just as the gun fires. The impact feels like being hit by a car. White-hot pain explodes through my shoulder, spinning me backward. I hear screaming, mine, maybe, or someone else's. The world tilts sideways. Then Dominic's arms are around me, and we're falling together, his body curving around mine as more gunshots ring out. I hear shouting, the crash of furniture, another shot. Then silence. Dominic's face swims into focus above me. His eyes are wild, terrified in a way I've never seen. Kristen. Kristen, look at me. Stay with me. I try to speak, but my mouth won't work right. Something wet and warm is spreading across my chest. Blood. My blood. Don't. His voice breaks. Don't you dare. Don't you dare leave me. Vincent appears beside us. Boss, we need to move her. Get a doctor. Get a fucking doctor now. More faces. Lucia, her hand over her mouth. Don Valentino barking orders in Italian. The gunman motionless on the floor, 3 bullets in his chest. Dominic's hands are on my shoulder, pressing down, trying to stop the bleeding. The pressure sends fresh waves of agony through me, and I cry out. I know. I know it hurts. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. His face is pale, blood, my blood, covering his hands, his shirt, his face. Why did you do that? Why did you? You, I manage. The word comes out broken. Couldn't let him. You could have died. So could you. Tears are streaming down his face now. Dominic Cross, the man who never shows weakness, who built walls so high nothing could touch him, is crying. You're an idiot, he says, his forehead pressing against mine. A beautiful, brave, stupid idiot. You're idiot. Yes. Mine. Always mine. His voice is ragged. So you don't get to die. Do you hear me? You don't get to leave me. Not now. Not when I finally. His voice breaks completely. Someone's running toward us. A man with a medical bag, kneeling beside me, pushing Dominic back. Sir, I need space to work. Don't touch her. Dominic. Vincent's hand on his shoulder. Let him help her. The doctor cuts away my dress, exposing the wound. His face is grave as he examines it. Through and through. Missed the major arteries, but she's losing a lot of blood. We need to get her to a hospital. No hospital. Too exposed. Bring her to the estate. Set up an operating room there. Sir, she needs. I said no hospital. Dominic's composure is completely shattered. Marcus still has men out there. If they find out she's alive, they'll come for her. We do this at home or not at all. The doctor nods, already packing the wound. Then we need to move fast. They lift me onto a stretcher. Every movement is agony, but I keep my eyes on Dominic. He's holding my hand so tight I think he might break it. In the car, or maybe it's an ambulance, I can't tell, he stays beside me, never letting go. Stay with me, Kristen. Please. Just stay with me. Not going anywhere, I whisper. Speaking takes so much effort. You took a bullet for me. You threw yourself in front of a gun. Love you. The words slip out, soft and simple and true. Dominic goes very still. What? Love you, I say again, clearer this time. In case I don't get to say it later. You'll say it later. You'll say it 1,000 times. You'll say it until I'm sick of hearing it. His voice is fierce, desperate. Do you understand? You're going to be fine. You're going to survive this because I can't do this without you. Yes, you can. No. I can't. I tried. For years, I tried to be alone, to not need anyone, to keep everyone out. And then you showed up and ruined everything. He laughs, but it sounds more like a sob. You with your optimism and your book notes and your ridiculous belief in mercy and second chances. You made me want things I thought I'd never want again. Like what? Like love. Like trust. Like a future that isn't just surviving but actually living. He brushes hair from my face with shaking fingers. I love you, Kristen James. I love you so much it terrifies me. And if you die, if you leave me alone in this darkness, I will never forgive you. Won't die, I promise. Too stubborn. Yes. You are. He kisses my forehead, my cheek, my lips. The most stubborn, infuriating, wonderful woman I've ever met. We're at the estate now. People running, shouting. The doctor barking orders. Someone trying to pull Dominic away from me. I'm not leaving her. Sir, you need to let us work. Then work. But I'm staying right here. The last thing I see before the anesthesia pulls me under is Dominic's face, and the last thing I hear is his voice, broken and raw and real. Don't leave me, Kristen. Please. I'm begging you. Don't leave me. I want to tell him I won't. Want to promise him forever. Want to say all the things I should have said weeks ago. But the darkness is pulling me down, and all I can do is hold on to his hand and hope that love is enough to bring me back. Because I have so much living left to do. And all of it, I want to do with him. I wake up 3 days later. The first thing I see is Dominic, asleep in a chair beside my bed. He looks terrible, unshaven, clothes rumpled, dark circles under his eyes. His hand is wrapped around mine like he's afraid I'll disappear if he lets go. Dominic, I whisper. His eyes fly open. For a moment he just stares at me, like he can't quite believe I'm real. Then he's out of the chair, his hands cupping my face, his forehead pressed to mine. You're awake. Thank God, you're awake. How long? 3 days. The surgery went well, but you lost so much blood. The doctor said, his voice breaks. He said it could go either way. But I'm here. You're here. He kisses me, soft and careful, like I might shatter. You're here and you're alive and I'm never letting you out of my sight again. Over the next 2 weeks, I heal. The pain fades from excruciating to manageable to a dull ache. Elena visits every day, bringing flowers and books and gossip. Don Valentino sends a fruit basket the size of a small car and a note saying I have the heart of a lioness. And Dominic never leaves. He works from my room, sleeps in the chair, reads to me when I can't sleep. One night, I wake to find him watching me with such raw emotion on his face that it takes my breath away. What? I ask. I almost lost you. But you didn't. I keep thinking about it. That moment when I heard the gunfire. When I realized you'd stepped in front of me. His jaw tightens. You could have died because of me. Because of my world, my enemies, my choices. I made a choice too. And I'd make it again. That's what terrifies me. He doesn't elaborate, but I see something in his eyes that looks like fear. 3 weeks after the shooting, Dominic comes to my room and tells me it's over. Marcus is dead, he says simply. His men are scattered. The ones who helped him are gone. It's done. And my father? Bankrupted. Exiled. He's living in a trailer in Nevada with nothing but his debts and his regrets. Dominic's voice is cold. He'll never touch you again. I made sure of that. Thank you. Don't thank me. It's the least I could do after everything you. He stops, shakes his head. There's something I need to show you. Are you strong enough to walk to my study? I am. Barely. He helps me down the hallway, his arm around my waist, moving slowly. When we reach his study, he opens the door and guides me to the leather chair across from his desk. Then he places 2 things in front of me. A bank statement. A Swiss account in my name. The balance makes my head spin, $10 million. And divorce papers. I stare at them, not understanding. What is this? Dominic sits across from me, his hands folded on the desk. His face is carefully blank, but I can see the tension in his shoulders. Your freedom. The contract we signed, the one that bound you to me for 2 years, I'm voiding it. You're free, Kristen. Free to go wherever you want, do whatever you want. The money will make sure you never have to depend on anyone again. I don't understand. I'm letting you go. His voice is quiet but firm. You came into my life because you had no choice. You stayed because you were trapped. But you're not trapped anymore. You can leave. What if I don't want to leave? Then you're an idiot. But there's no heat in it. Kristen, you took a bullet for me. You almost died because of my world. I won't trap you in it any longer. You're not trapping me. Aren't I? You signed a contract under duress. You married a man you didn't choose. Everything between us has been built on coercion and necessity. That's not true. Isn't it? I look at the papers again. The divorce decree, already prepared, just waiting for my signature. The bank statement promising financial security. Everything I need to walk away and start over. Everything except what I actually want. You think I stayed because I was trapped, I say slowly. You think everything between us was obligation and fear. Wasn't it? At first, maybe. But not anymore. I stand, ignoring the pull on my shoulder, and walk around the desk until I'm standing in front of him. I fell in love with you, Dominic. Not because I had to. Not because you forced me. But because underneath all that ice and anger and fear, I found someone worth loving. Kristen. I found someone who leaves notes in book margins and pretends he doesn't have a heart when it's the biggest heart I've ever known. Someone who defended me to a room full of dangerous men because he couldn't stand to see me disrespected. Someone who destroyed everyone who hurt me not because he had to, but because he wanted to. You deserve better than this life. Better than me. I deserve a choice. And I'm making it. I pick up the divorce papers and, slowly, deliberately, tear them in half. Then in quarters. Then into pieces so small they flutter like snow when I drop them. What are you doing? Choosing you. Choosing this. Choosing us. I take his face in my hands, making him look at me. I don't want your money, Dominic. I don't want my freedom if it means losing you. I want a life with you. A real one. Not built on contracts or obligations, but on love. You're sure? His voice is barely a whisper. Because once you choose this, choose me, there's no going back. I've been sure since the library. Since you told me about Isabel and your father. Since you looked at me like I was something precious instead of something broken. I leaned down, my forehead touching his. I love you. And I'm not going anywhere. The mask finally, completely shatters. He pulls me into his lap, careful of my shoulder, and kisses me like he's been drowning and I'm air. I love you, he says against my lips. I love you so much it scares me. Good. Fear means you have something worth losing. I almost lost you once. Never again. Never again, I promise. 6 months later, we stand in the same garden where Marcus tried to take everything from us. But this time, it's filled with flowers and white chairs and people we actually want there. Elena is crying. Don Valentino is beaming. Even Vincent looks suspiciously emotional. The officiant asks if I take Dominic to be my husband, and this time when I say, I do, it's not under duress or obligation. It's choice. Pure, simple, powerful choice. When Dominic kisses me, it's not for show or appearances. It's for us. For the life we're choosing together. For the love we found in the darkest places and decided was worth fighting for. Mrs. Cross, he whispers against my lips. For real this time, I whisper back. For real. Forever. We walk back down the aisle together, hand in hand, and I think about the girl who was dragged into a casino and sold like property. The girl who thought she'd never be free again. She was wrong. She found something better than freedom. She found home. Not in a place, but in the arms of a man who loved her enough to let her go. And loved her even more when she chose to stay. The end.